Good afternoon, here I am. I've been thinking again. Yes, it's true. Beware the philosopher. Just to take note, yes, today I do not have a pimple. That is not a pimple, so don't be distracted by it. It's actually, they cut out a possible cancer thing. So anyway, with that out of the way, wanted to continue with my topic of think before ... What does that mean? What that means is this week I had two different sets of friends going through some domestic challenges, and it was intense. Like, I was very emotional, I'm not very emotional, like freaking out emotional, but my heart was in so much like turmoil for my friends, you know. And so as things went on, of course my brain's swirling and I'm thinking about all this stuff. And in one situation, one of the people that I'm friends with, their significant other got mad at them and you know, started getting all upset in the middle of the night and started punching walls and breaking doors, and my friend didn't want to call the police. They didn't want to involve them, and they've already had enough drama in the past, and you know, they were just hoping to get through it. And so when my friend went home, the significant other started to get, you know, kind of aggressive again. And my friend, I was on the phone with my friend, and my friend's like yelling on the phone, "They're coming after me, they're coming after me. Oh no, they're breaking my planners, and they're breaking my stuff." And I was just like on the phone feeling so hopeless. And person's yelling and screaming, and I'm like, just go to your neighbors. And so, but to get to the point, you know, what it really made me think about, you know, is that situation. That's one situation. And the other situation, there's a married couple, and they're awesome people, and they're just amazing. They're walking miracles. They're just amazing, but they have a very challenging set of circumstances, both financially, their backgrounds as far as lack of parenting and lack of provision and lack of training and lack of communication, and it's just a really hard life. And they had a lot of stress in their relationship, and as a result, some of the relatives decided they'd get involved and then beat one of my friends with a baseball bat and hospitalize them and pull a gun on them. And so when I think about this stuff, I think, wow, this is so intense. Like, how do you deal with this? And so my mind was thinking about how, you know, so often we get involved in relationships, you know, and granted, I've been in one for 23 years, but, you know, I see my friends and so many people online and on Facebook talking about, you know, so much stuff, like trying to get their stuff back, trying to get their pets back, trying to, you know, find a place to live, and how they miss their kids, and how this happened and that happened, and there's this fight and court and everything. And I'm thinking, man, you know, we gotta think before we get so like caught up with somebody. I mean, it's so easy to be infatuated and attracted to someone and see other good qualities, but God forbid, you know, we don't really look at reality, and we get involved with that person. When one of my friends, the first one I told you about, when they finally had to call the police, and when the police arrived, they told my friend to leave their own house. It was my friend's house. The other person never paid rent, never paid bills, never anything. I called a police friend of mine and said, hey, shouldn't the police, you know, file a report? They're vandalizing the property, and it's not their property, it's my friend's property. And my friend, who's the police officer, said, well, did they pay any bills? Did they contribute to the household? I said, no, they've been more of a guest. They've been off and on for a few years, but they've never really, you know, homesteaded or paid anything towards the residents. So the police officer, a friend of mine, said, well, then it's criminal trespass and you do it. Well, what got so frustrating to me, and this is my warning to you guys, is so the police are there, and they're about to leave my friend, who's terrified and crying, and telling this person, my friend who owns the house, to leave the property and let the one who's vandalizing it stay, who hasn't even paid a bill. And I'm like, so I talked to the policeman. I said, what are you talking about? I put the policeman online. And so the policeman got on like, oh, it's a domestic dispute. And I'm like, no, this person does not own this house. This person is vandalizing the house. They've been off and on, and they've never contributed to the household. They're not common law. They're not, you know, and I said, my friend's trying to move on in life, and you guys are telling my friend to leave their own house? And the police weren't about to leave until I got some other, I'm not going to tell you what I did, but I got some other help from other resources. And the police finally took the one who was destroying property off my friend's property. And it was so terrifying to me because I thought, man, the police won't even protect you when someone's being violent. And so I thought, even if you love them and whatever, just think twice, because if it starts getting aggressive, don't stay. Don't stay in it. Whether it's, I mean, I've had relatives, you know, and both of their spouses, one was a woman, one was a man, and they got aggressive. The woman was abusive in one situation with my relative. The other situation, the husband was abusive and got aggressive and violent. I mean, the woman can be an abuser too. And I'm thinking, you know, I know you love them, but you need to move on. And before you commit to that, think twice. And I'll throw my little Christianity in there, not to preach at you, but, you know, people think Christians are just prudes and, you know, they're just trying to be religious and not have sex and, you know, oh, poor them. You don't got to test drive the car before you buy it and stuff like that. Well, that's not why we don't have sex before marriage. It's because we know that when you get connected with someone emotionally and physically, it's that much harder to see clearly, and you get all wrapped up in their stuff, and it's just a big mess. You've really gone to a whole new level of intimacy when you're like that. So anyway, with that being said, I encourage you to please think twice before you move in with somebody, because even if they move in and they don't pay the bills, chances are you might get police like showed up at my friend's house going, oh well, they lived here, just go file a report knowing it. Here you go. Go file this down tomorrow. Like the violent ones stay in their house. So anyway, with that being said, it was pretty intense. It was pretty intense, and just really made me think about relationships and who we choose to connect ourselves with and move in with and tolerate. You know, how far are we going to let it go before we do something? And then when we try to do something, is the law or anyone going to help us? Because I just saw that they weren't willing to help. So anyway, have a good day.